So today we are looking at the Nova Linux. So here is the boot menu. So there was no boot menu or anything. So here is the logo of the Linux distro. So I'm running it on a VMware which is 60 GB, having a hard disk of 60 GB, and my CPU is i5 1240p. And I'm using 8 GB of RAM for this Linux distro. So again, this is not a new Linux distro, but it's a new content in my channel. So I never made a video on the Nova Linux. This Linux is from Cuban. So it's from the 2023 version. So I'm going to show you the official website, and I'm going to show you how to download the ISO file. So it's taking a lot of time to even boot up. This is the first time, so it could take 2 minutes or 3 minutes, maybe more or less. So we need to wait patiently. So here is the desktop layout of the Nova Linux. So it took almost 4 minutes to load up the desktop layout, and the language is Cuban, I guess. So let's first change the display settings. So I hope I find the display settings. Maybe this one, not that one, maybe this. So it has a KDE Plasma desktop environment. So I don't think it has the latest version of a KDE Plasma. So my monitor is 1920 into 1080 with a 16:9 ratio. I'm going to click OK. I think this is a keep the configuration, I guess. So let's check about information of the PC. So here it is, the name itself, Nova, and I'm running it on a VMware which I already mentioned. Let me scroll it down. So I have like a 12th gen i5 CPU which is 1240p. It says as a 64 GB, and I kept it for like a 60 GB for my VMware. And the version you get is a Nova 9.0. The 9.0 was released maybe 2023. So there was no date in the release notes or anything like that. There was a date when you upload the file of ISO. So I said it from 2023. I'm going to show you everything, so you don't need to worry about that. So here are the updates, I guess. So let's close this and let's open the system monitor. So the desktop environment, I'm going to show all the information. So it looked like a KDE Plasma, so we need to see all those things. So here are all the processes running. Sorry if I say anything wrong because I woke up right now, so that's the reason. So memory is almost 1.2 GB and CPU is almost under 20%. So on the system resource, it's pretty much good. 1.2 GB still better, not worst. We saw almost 3 GB, 4 GB consuming Linux distros, so it's still good. So it's also the website is also still active, and I found it on the distro watch, so it says as the development is inactive. So I'm going to put the system monitor in the right side corner throughout the video. So let's open the browser, which is Firefox. So the folder and all those things looks like a KDE Plasma, but the application menu looked like a GNOME. So I think they have customized a lot of things in the Nova Linux. It says as Nova Linux is just for the Cubans in the official website, built by the Cubans and for the Cubans, this is in the website. I'm going to show you all those things. So it's not anything like that, anything wrong with it. So we need to check the website also. So before that, let's check the version of the Firefox. Here is the version which you get 109. So the latest version should be, I think, 127. It's almost 10 to 15 versions older. So let's type in about support. Hope I get proper keyboard when typing. About support. symbols will be messed up in different language when you use the different languages because of the keyboard style. Sometimes it will be QWERTY and sometimes there will be a symbolic and all those things. You already know what I'm talking about. So here is some of the information of the distro and from the browser. I'm not going to read everything, you can just pause the video and read on your own. So here is all the information, just pause the video and read everything. Here are all the information. Or else you can just change the playback speed in the YouTube so you can see properly. Like a 0.25 playback speed should be good. So let's try the Nova Linux official website, which is nova.cu. I hope it opens the official website. Or else we need to try like a search term, Nova Linux maybe. Nova Linux. So this is the Linux. So let's try the. So the website didn't open. The portal is here, which is nova.cu, and this is the official link from the Nova Linux. So at first the download didn't work. I tried all those VPN servers because I was using a VPN. It didn't let me to download the ISO file, but I did some things which in the URL, so it let me open. So here are the two options. This is lightweight, this is a complete version. So let's click on the portal so we could get the ISO file. So it says, so here is the ISO file. I hope the download started. So you need to translate this first. Let me copy, let me open Google Translate. Hit enter. So we need to open websites. I need English. Paste. Let's open the actual website now. So for some reason the website is pretty much slow when you open with the translate or from the Google Translate. Let's wait and see all those things. So even network isn't working properly. So here is the download files or the download Nova, a new Linux distribution made by CUBANS and for CUBANS. This is a thing which you find in the actual website. It's not wrong or anything like that. So it's clearly up to them. So here is the new Nova Desk, and here is Nova Lite, Nova Servers, Nova Droid. So I'm going to click on Discharge. Let's click on Download maybe. Again, we need to wait for a few seconds here, I guess. Or else let's copy the link. I don't know what it is. Let's try to copy because we don't know the language. Paste. It's not the thing. So let's get back here and let me show you again. So I downloaded the file by copying the links here. So I don't know what. So I have ISO file started downloading, as you can see. So click on save, and here is the HTML. So it's not the ISO file. So let me copy the link. I hope this is the copy thing. So let's try to paste it here. Nope. Copier NJS, maybe this should be the copy. So I removed all those things. Let me cancel it. Let me remove all those things, and let me remove all the ISO files too. So here you can access the ISO files, but when you go to the actual website and if you try the downloading thing, the downloads will be not working. So in order to work the downloads, or else you can just copy the ISO file or type in the ISO files link in your search bar, and you should be accessing the ISO files. So here is the Nova Linux. If you want to try to test it in the VirtualBox or a VMware, you can just copy this link. I'm not going to provide any of the links or anything like that. You can just type in the links by watching the video in your search bar. So the ISO file is this is the desktop and this is the light. So I'm going to download the desktop version. So as you can see, the file started downloading, which is 1.9 GB, and here is the light ISO file, which is 1.7 GB. So both the ISO files are available. So if you still want the older version, you can just click on the 3 buttons here. You can access the 6.6. I don't properly see from here because I'm far from the desktop. Let me see. It's a 6.0, 7.0, 8.0 and 9.0. The latest version is 9.0 and it's from 2nd October 2023. So you can download the ISO files from here. So if you want to try to test it in your VirtualBox, you can try this type of ISO files or this Linux distro, VirtualBox, VMware, or maybe the Libboot. So these are the this was the official website, and that was the downloading process. If you want, you can read everything for some of the information if you don't understand what it is. So you get all the information here. So I'm going to close the browser. Let's go to the installation now. So here is the installer. So there will be simple things in the Linux distro when you install. So first, here is the language selection. Select the keyboard layout, English United States, input language, default. So here is the single boot and here is the dual boot options or the partitions options. So if you don't know what you're doing in the installation method, you need to watch tutorials of installation of Linux in the hard disk or a virtual disk. I don't properly remember in which Linux distro I installed on the virtual disk or a hard disk, because I covered almost 3000 videos. It's pretty much hard to point out which video I installed Linux distro on the virtual disk or a hard disk. So that's the reason it's better to watch 5 to 6 other channels videos to get the information of how to install. So there will be a stuttering and there will be mistakes in the video while I'm talking, because I'm going to keep the video raw as possible. I'm just going to edit the booting process, just maybe the time which took in the booting of this Linux distro. I'm going to trim that part, and I'm going to keep the rest of the video raw as possible so you can get the complete information. So that's the reason I'm going to keep all those things raw. So there will be mistakes, try to ignore it, or you can just blame on me. So I don't have any problem with that. So here is the option of installing. I'm not going to install because I need to make another video. So let's close the installation. So it's going to take like maybe 15 to 20 minutes to install. So if you want to test it, you can test it in the virtual disk or a live boot. So don't try to install it on a main PC or work PC, because it's an unknown Linux distro and the ISO files were not properly available. I made it some type of thing and opened the ISO file, so that's the reason. So we don't properly know whether it's available for other users or other countries or not. So that's the reason. So if you still get the ISO files, try to test it in the live boot or virtual machine and just use it, because if you are a distro hopper, you will try to test all the Linux distro which are available in the market. So that's the thing I'm going to say here. So CPU and RAM is pretty much good. The Linux distro is not even consuming that much of resources. That's pretty awesome. And let's open the terminal and get the information of this Linux distro. Let's keep it in the left side corner and make it bigger so you can see properly of everything. So let's check about. So there is a language barrier when using this Linux distro. You need to change your language if you want. So that's the only thing you can do in the installation. So I'm going to type in the commands inxi. So it says as you need to update. So I'm not going to do that because it's going to take a lot of time. Uname, here is the kernel. So I'm going to close it. So let's try the neofetch. At least neofetch is pre-installed. Let's see. So neofetch is not available. We need to update all those things. So you know the update command, so I'm not going to do that, anything like that. I'm just going to check all those things. So here is the settings. Let's keep it in the left side. So internet, Bluetooth, there should be backgrounds. You get all the wallpapers from the Nova Linux, most of them. Notifications. So these are the search, multimedia, applications. Here are the applications. And privacy. Never turn on all the camera options and the locations and all those things. Never turn it on. Only turn it on when you need it. Let's get back. So you can add your accounts here. Sharing. We cancel the volume or the sound. Lock screen or the power options. It's the power options. It's the displays. Mouse. I think this is keyboard options. Printers. USB, color, region, accessibility, users. I think this is application defaults. And here is the distro information. Let's open the terminal. And type in the command. Let's try the commands and let's see how much of time it consumes. So everything is working properly. So let me type in the commands. Sudo apt-get update. Hit enter. So instead of waiting for that, let's check all the default applications we get here. So you get the basic applications like the LibreOffice and some GNOME desktop environment applications. So it's going to take a few seconds here. So I think I need to open the applications because I do the thing which is stress test. So basically, so the commands is completed. Let's try the inxi now. Let's open the terminal again. I don't properly understand what the language is, so it's a bit of problem here. So let's try to update. I don't know what it is. Sudo apt update. Let's copy the command. Let me paste in the command. Upgradable list. Let's copy. I'm going to update all those things so we can get some of the information. So let me type in sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade y. So let's wait and try to find some of the commands, information of the distro, all those things. So you get default applications, you don't get any of the bloatware applications or anything like that. So it's pretty much you get the Office applications and Mozilla Firefox, the Thunderbird, just the basic user applications. So that's pretty much good. There is no bloatware applications other than just the basic things. So I need to open like a bit of resource consuming applications from here. So this is the test which I do in every Linux distro, that to find whether these distros will handle day-to-day tasks. So that's the reason I open like a 15 to 20 applications at once and see whether if they crashes or we get any bugs or anything like that. So that's the basic thing of this stress test. So you can get an idea whether to use that Linux distro or not on that basis. Not completely, but you get some information from that and other information from using the distro, whether it's a stable file or whether it's a latest release and all those things. So whether it is LTS and all those things. So that's the reason I make all this type of test. So let's get back to the terminal. It is still taking a lot of time here, so let's wait. So there was a delay because of the applications we opened at once. Instead of opening one by one, I opened almost all the applications at once. So I'm going to open still the applications here which are available. So it says it's completed. So let's try to type in command inxi. So it still says as a sudo apt update. So here are the applications. So there is a language problem in the in this distro, so you need to change it on your own. I think this is tweaks. So let's try to open as much as possible. So there is no heavy resource consuming applications other than the basic applications you get from this Linux distro. So let's get to the system monitor. The resource is almost 3.1 GB. And CPU is under 50%. So the system resources or the system consuming hardware is very less than compared to other distros. So the CPU is pretty much less. The RAM is 3.1 GB because of the applications we opened here. So that's the reason. So let me try to install the inxi. Sudo apt install inxi. Operation invalid, I guess. So instead of install, I'll try put something, I think R, I guess. Let me type in again. So I am far from the monitor, so that's the reason. sudo apt install. It's wrong again. It's not because of me, it's because of the keyboard. Let me try to find the T. So I woke up right now, so that's the reason there are a lot of mistakes. INXI. So I think it's going to install. It says yes and no instead of Y or no. So let's try yes again and hit install. It's going to take a few seconds to install. I didn't understand what it was saying. It says something update. So that's the reason I thought we need to upgrade all those repositories. I thought like that. So let's try to install the INXI and get the information. I think it's installed. INXI. So here is the command. So let's try to change the color so you can see properly. So let's close it. Let's go with the preference. I think this is the preference. So the hard part is to find the colors, I guess. Yeah, here we have the proper color. So here is the CPU kernel storage. Let me type in INXI -b. So the distro, it says as a Nova 2023, and here is the information. Desktop, GNOME desktop 42.5. I said KD Plasma desktop environment in the beginning, so there was a mistake. So try to understand me, because I woke up right now and I'm sitting far from the monitor also. So there are some mistakes by me, so try to ignore those things, or else you can just point it out in the comment section. I don't have any issue with that. So here is some of the information of the distro. So let me type in another command. You can just pause the video and read everything on your own. So the folders and icons look like a KD Plasma, and the desktop environment, you already know the application menu was the GNOME in the beginning. So let me type in another command, which is INXI-F. So here is some of the information again. So let me type in INXI-G. So let's try the cat:/etc/issue. So let me install the NeoFetch. Sudo apt install NeoFetch. Yes. So it's going to take a few seconds or maybe a minute to install the NeoFetch. So you already opened all the applications, and let's check the system monitor now. So it's almost 3.2 GB. So there is a lot of background noise beside my house. The kids are playing, so try to ignore that if you get the voice in the microphone or in the video, because I already said I'm going to keep all the video as much as possible like a raw video. So there will be an installation of a NeoFetch in a few seconds, so we need to just wait for that. It's going to take a few more seconds here, I guess. I think let me show you the version of the terminal. The version is 3.44.0, para GNOME 42. I think off is para. So let me try the NeoFetch now. So here is the NeoFetch. Let me try the INXI-SV8. You get all the distro information in just a single command. Let's scroll it up and find all the information. So we pretty much got all the information from the distros. So the vulnerability, CPU, graphics, Bluetooth sensors and all those things. So let me try the Headstop. The Headstop also is not installed, so I'm not going to install it. You can just try to install on your own sudo apt install Headstop. So that's the command. So let me check all the applications here. So when we switch the applications, there should be some crashes or anything like that. If you don't see any crash or anything like that, so the distro will be fine. So usually when you open all the applications at once, there will be a crash or something like bugs or anything will be encountered while opening the applications. So that's the objective of that stress test. Because this test is basically for the normal user who open applications like 4 to 5 applications when he's working or while browsing internet, all those things. So that's the main objective to see whether this distro will handle a normal users applications or not, to get the information whether we can use this Linux distro for day to day or just we can skip this type of Linux distro. So that's the objective of a stress test, which I usually do in every Linux distro. So the applications are switching instantly. As you can see, there is no lag or anything like that. Everything is working fine. So the main problem is it's unknown Linux distro and it's the ISO file is around 2023. So it's still active. It has still active website. So it's clearly up to you to judge whether to use this Linux distro or not. So when you ask me, you can try it on the virtual machines or live boot. But when you ask whether to install this type of Linux distro on the main PC or work PC, I don't really recommend this type of Linux distro because it's not unknown in all the other countries. It should be known in the Cuban, but we probably don't know about this. So all the applications are opening instantly. There is no lag or anything, crashes, bugs, nothing is in the Linux distro. So that's the good point here. So let's check all the about information and end the video here. So about. So here is the shortware. Here are the tweaks. You can customize according to your wish. Let me close this. About the maps. Here is the software center or the applications app store 41.5. Here is the information you can search here. Let's try the VLC media player. It's taking a time here. So instead of waiting, so here we have the VLC media player. So you can install by searching the applications in the left side corner, as you can see here. So that's the installation. There is no close button or close icon. We can't close it. So let's see the rhythm box version. For the desktop environment, you get the GNOME desktop environment. So for some reason I mentioned that it is a KDE Plasma. I don't know what I was thinking. So here is the Thunderbird version. So I downloaded the ISO file before sleeping and I'm making a video after I woke up. So that's the thing that happens when you, even forgot the ISO name or the Linux distro name when it was booting. So that's the problem happens when you delay a video. So here is the information. Here is the other locations, file management. You can go through all the files if you want. You can check all those things. You can even customize the application view, preference, and all those things. So you already know how to check all those things, hidden files and all those things. So the browser, I already showed you the information of the browser. About LibreOffice, you get the 7.3.7.2. Let's close it. So we pretty much covered everything, I guess. I showed all the applications. Here is the panel, configuration. So all the wallpapers and all the settings which I already showed. So these are some of the options which can be customized. So I'm going to end the video because we pretty much covered everything. So do let me know in the comment section whether you use this Linux distro or not. Don't try to watch my video and try to install this in your main PC or work PC, because most of the time I was sleepy throughout the video. So that's the reason. Get all the information on your own. Usually I will be giving all the information in all the Linux distro, but I was totally sleepy, so that's the reason. I think I made at least 50% of the good video. I hope it works. And if you want to try to test it in the in your PC, try to test it in the virtual machines always, because it's not well known in the other countries. It should be known in the Cuban, because this Linux distro is from the Cuban. And I showed you how to download and how to use and all those things. So the Linux distro, these are my final thoughts. So the Linux distro is pretty much stable. There was no lag, no crash. Even its GNOME desktop environment, it was not consuming a lot of resources. It was consuming a bit normally. So it's clearly up to you whether to use this Linux distro or just you can skip and check other video. And there is already a video available in the in my channel, because I'll be posting 2 videos daily. So if you consider subscribing, you can subscribe, or else you can just watch my video and check other channels. I don't have any issue with that. So I'm going to shut it down the video here. Again, thanks for watching.